Today we're going to talk about the dollar CAD. I'll show you guys a breakout opportunity that I'm watching next week because I do think the market is getting very close. And we'll also look at the DXY, the US dollar index, because it is going to matter for a currency like the dollar CAD. Now, if you guys do enjoy the content, be sure to subscribe to the channel and click the bell icon for notifications because I am releasing these videos every day, Monday through Friday. Lastly, none of the content in this video or any video is ever financial advice because it is just my opinion. All right, so with that said, we looked at the dollar CAD a while back. Earlier this month, in fact, I think it was the 2nd of March, where we looked at this pattern here that had developed ever since this low back in June of last year. So you can see here we have this trend line off of these lows, and it connects with this one here and also this one. Now, at the moment, the market is coming into that support level, which is why I'm going to be keeping an eye on this next week. Okay, now I'm not looking to buy the dollar CAD, and that's simply because if we look here at the weekly chart, you can see where the market this week is putting in a potential, bearish engulfing candle here. Now, the one thing I will say about this right off the bat is that engulfing candles like this, when you have consolidation, are much less effective. They're a lot more effective when you have a trending market. And when you have a range-bound market like this, it does become a lot less effective. That said, you can see that back here, we had a very similar candle. So this one right here that engulfed this real body from the previous week, very similar to this one. So this range right here engulfs the real body from last week. All right, so right now this is a very similar look to what we had before, and of course we know that we got a pretty decent sell-off from the dollar CAD. Now keep in mind that that was also much higher from this support level down here. All right, so the play for next week, at least for me, is going to be to watch for a close below this trend line. All right, so right here around 1.257, maybe 1.256, I'm going to be looking for a close below this trend line for a move down toward 1.24. All right, so these lows back here and potentially back here toward 1.23, all right, which was the low back here in October. Now, there is also a chance that we could see a move all the way down here toward the base of this trend line, right around 1.2. And the reason that level is going to be significant is that if we go back here to the weekly time frame, you can see where the dollar CAD has been moving within this channel ever since all the way back here in 2015. All right, so we have this massive equidistant channel that's formed here, and the bottom of this channel is right around 1.2. So if we do see this pair move lower next week, take out that trend line, and also take out these two support levels, then next is going to be 1.2. And that is going to be a very significant level for this market. Now, alternatively, next week, if we were to see the dollar CAD come down here and form some type of bullish pin bar, let's say at this level down here, I may entertain a long entry. But right now, given this pullback here, the weekly bearish engulfing candle, I would be very hesitant to buy at this support level down here because I do think any bounce could be temporary. Now, at the same time, if we were to get a full reversal from down here and the market were to move back up here toward this level, then this area up around 1.295 is going to be resistance, with a close above that taking the market up here toward the 1.34 area. All right, so really a couple ways to play this. Look for the breakdown below this channel here, this trend line here, for a move down toward 1.24 and potentially 1.23. Alternatively, watch for bullish price action around this level. Just keep in mind the fact that this week is forming a bearish engulfing candle and potentially a move back toward 1.295 if that weekly candle does not work out. Keep that in mind, because right now, again, on the weekly chart, there is a bearish engulfing candle. Now, let's take a look at the DXY2, the US dollar index, because this is going to be a factor. So we've talked about this confluence of resistance up here around 99.40 in the past, and so far the market is selling off from that area. Now, the most significant level that comes in up there is going to be this trend line off of the 2011 low. So right now, this level is serving as resistance. So you can see here, the market broke down back here in 2020, and we're now getting a bearish retest of that area up around 99.5. So as long as the DXY stays below, let's say 99.4, then this area is technically intact as resistance. Now you can also see where we have the top of this channel right up here in the same area, as well as this very short-term channel resistance. All right, now before FOMC the other day, we did see the DXY actually break down right before that event. Okay, so it broke down on the 4-hour chart right here. And then this candle right here, the retest of this level as resistance, this was the FOMC candle. All right, so far this market is starting to turn lower after forming a slightly lower high right back here. So it does look relatively bearish at the moment. So for next week, if the DXY can get below this area right around 97.70 or so, then I do think we are going to see a move down here toward the 96 area, which is the bottom of that larger channel, okay, that extends from May of last year. So basically right now, looking for a move below 97.70 to open up this area around 96. And if that happens, that is going to matter for a pair like the dollar CAD, okay? Because we know that the Canadian dollar has been very strong recently. So if you get a strong Canadian dollar combined with a weak US dollar, then this market is very likely to break down next week. But as always, it's going to be important here to wait for the close below this level down here before looking for that short entry. And as always, this is just my opinion, not financial advice. All right, guys, so that is it. I hope you enjoyed the content. If you did, be sure to subscribe to the channel, click the bell icon for notifications, and smash that like button. I will talk to you guys again tomorrow in the weekly forecast.